Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Reignite Your Sparkle. I'm Ingela, and I'm your host. And today I have the great pleasure of having Amanda Weil here.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
I am very excited. Now you will know soon why I'm so excited. So I'm going to read Amanda's bio so you know who she is. So Amanda Weil is the CEO of Style Awakening and a style specialist. She is the to-go expert in her industry, helping women and men be confidently seen and uniquely styled so they can attract the lifestyle that they want. Her approach reveals an inner essence, I love that exudes certainty, prosperity, and magnetism, which is then recreated through style. The end result being one's authentic style expression. So this is the part that I love. So Amanda is the leading in the industry, shifting towards the belief that style is not what is in and on trend, but rather what's within. And using our style to a way to transform into the best version of ourselves.
Yes.
So I love this so much because this is exactly what this show is about. It's transforming and reigniting that sparkle, but it all starts from within.
Absolutely.
So how does that go together with style then? Because style is outside, right? It's outward. It's what we're showing out, in our clothing or, but if it starts from within, how do we go about that?
Well, I feel like style is just a direct representation of how you feel about yourself. It's your outer expression. It's how you just show off your inner essence, your inner emotions. So if you feel really good about yourself, if you're really clear in who you are, if you love yourself, quirks and all, then it actually becomes really easy to figure out your style and how you want to show up because you start to correlate the two, that it really is a direct, a direct expression. And I just feel like the more work we do on ourselves to figure out who we are and what makes us happy, the less we care about what other people think. And so when we let our guard down in that regards, then we become free to just show up in the way that we want to show up. So that's really what I truly believe about style, where I feel like if everyone's trying to chase the latest trend or chase what so and so is wearing, that's not at all about you. That's about just trying to fit in. And style is not meant to be worn to fit in. It's meant to be worn for you to show up as your unique self.
So how does that work if like with COVID, we were all in our sweats and our yoga pants and all that. It's like a trend, right? I was never that girl that you could find in yoga pants outside, but like a lot of people, they just get very comfy in their clothes, like warm sweater. Now it's getting colder, warm sweater, our little COVID pants. How do we actually but that makes me comfortable and that's okay. But how can we go away from that? Like, is there a process to it?
Well, I want to say there's a difference between being comfortable and between putting in zero effort and zero intention.
Nice.
Because you can still be like, I'm extremely comfortable in my clothes today, and I'm wearing a blouse and jeans and like all decked out in my jewels, and I'm super comfortable.
Yeah.
Other days it might be a cute little sweatsuit, but you better believe that it's matching and I still have on jewelry and I've still done my makeup because I feel good about it. So I think it really comes down to the intentionality of what you're putting on your body. It's not to say one thing is right and the other thing is wrong. It's just, are you actually taking the time in the morning to think like, okay, how do I want to feel today in my clothes? How do I want to show up? What's not that we dress for other people, we truly dress for ourselves, but what's the impression that I want to give off in my clothes? Is it really representing me? And then that's how you then go about getting dressed. And it doesn't mean you can't be comfortable, because I truly believe like it all comes down to the fabrics that you wear, right? And understanding what fabrics feel really good on your skin and what fabrics don't, and just starting to go about that route. So it's like I always say, it starts with the intentionality. Just Are you being intentional about what you're putting on your body?
Okay, so I see, this is the part I love. You do everything about colors and chakras.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about that? Because I was listening to you and I was like, oh, I love this, the colors and like they have a meaning behind it and it's what's missing. And, so can you tell us about that? Because that is not what I expected. Like I talked to you before we started recording, it is like, I got all like, yay, I'm so excited because it shifted my mindset and then opened up all these other possibilities that I had never thought of.
Right. Yeah. So I'm a big believer in energy and taking care of your energy and really understanding that energy, emotions, like all of that is what truly creates our life. So when you think about your clothing, that's also made of energy. Everything is. So if you go deeper into that, that's when you start to play with like the fabrics that you're putting on your body, right? What is that doing to your skin? Your skin's your largest organ. Who was actually working on the clothes? How were they treated? Because their energy was put into making it, and then that's what you're putting on your body. And then when you start to think about color, it's different. Like I know a lot of stylists or a lot of people will say, "Oh, I'm a summer, I'm a winter, I'm a this, I'm a that." And it's so funny because I don't even really know what all that stuff is, to be completely honest. I always felt like maybe I shouldn't be a stylist because I don't really what's a summer, what's a winter, what I just and then I realized that it's because I look at color differently. So when I look at someone, I'm not necessarily looking at their skin tone. I think I see more of just their energy and their aura. And then I'm able to, it just comes to me where I'm like, oh, you would look really great in purple. You would look really great in these shades. You would look really great in those shades. So I think it's just a little bit more innate in that. So I started to think about this, like, okay, if I don't really follow that trend of like, and it's totally fine. I understand like the stylists that do it, the people that subscribe to that, amazing. There's definitely something there, 100%. I'm just saying this is like a deeper way to look at it. And I was always really intrigued by chakras and energy and like the why, what colors represent. And when I started to do the deeper dive to understand chakras and the energetics of color, I just started teasing it out with people where I'd be like, so what color have you been craving lately? And they would tell me, and let's say they said like blue, and I'd be like, oh, interesting. And blue is your throat chakra. And I would just say, is there something lately that you have been feeling unsafe to share, to express? And they would be like, how did you know that? Yes. And I'm like, interesting. And so I just started testing it out and realizing like, okay, there's the deeper meaning behind color. There's a reason why we gravitate towards color. Like for instance, you're wearing red today, which is all about your root chakra. And it makes sense for you because you get to be super grounded and hold space in these interviews. So it makes so much sense that you are like grounded in your red, like that's your, your first chakra. So it's all about your survival security. And so it just makes a lot of sense that you would gravitate towards that. So it just
started with blue this morning.
Did you? Okay, you started with blue. Okay, great. Well,
and then
throat chakra, yeah.
And I was like, no. So
And
I changed my red.
That's what it is. It's listening. It's listening and understanding. Like you're going to reach for different colors each day for a specific reason. And so it's just starting to allow yourself to go there and then start to question like, why am I reaching towards green? Oh yeah, I've been really mean to myself. I haven't been practicing my self-love and my self-care. That's my heart chakra. Got it. Like it's really cool because then you can start to ask yourself like the deeper questions of, why am I gravitating towards purple? Is there something that I can work on there? And so I just thought it was really cool. And the more I use that with clients, I start to see the correlation between it. So there's one way to look at it where we're reaching for specific colors because of a reason, because that chakra could use a little bit of extra love, a little bit of extra support. Mm-hmm. Or we can, so we reach for it because that chakra could use support. Or I totally just lost my train of thought there. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I totally lost where I was going.
So can we don't have to go deep dive into it because I know there's a whole, thing to it. Can we go like touch on each colors, and can you just explain to the viewers who are going, chakra what?
Oh yeah.
Because I am also new to that, and many are, I think it's, I don't even know, like, so just touch on it, not a deep dive, because I
I'll
know
do it 2 seconds. Yeah.
I
No,
know
I'll
you
do
do
it.
it with your clients, and
I'll do
I
it 2 seconds.
don't do that with her.
Yeah. No, the 2 seconds. So chakras are essentially like energy centers, like little wheels of energy. And we have 7 within us that run along our spine. And just think of them like little wheels of energy that are spinning, and you want those wheels of energy spinning, and because that's how everything moves through us. And they affect everything: physical, emotional, spiritual, right? Everything is, we want that energy continuing to move through us. Whereas sometimes those little wheels of energy can get a little bit congested, so they maybe aren't spinning as fast as they usually do. The energy gets a little bit stuck or stagnant. And that's when you actually, my belief is that that's when you actually can start to have physical and emotional and mental ailments, because that energy is not moving freely through you. Think of it like blood, right? If the blood gets stopped up somewhere, you're going to have an issue. So it's just like that with energy. And forgive me for the sun that is streaming through on my face right now. There's like
if you move forward, there's no sun. Whoa.
Rainbow on my face.
You're glowing. It's your sparkle.
Yeah. How to get about chakras. So that's what it is. So there's 7 within our spine. I mean, there's so many more chakras all around us, but the core 7 that we focus on, the first one being your root, which I talked about, and that's like down at your tailbone. And so that's the color red. And that's all about being really grounded to Mother Earth, like just feeling really solid in yourself. And it's cool, as we go up the chakras, they start to become a little bit more like spiritual in nature. So the first few are all about like just like really physical, and then you start to get more and it makes sense too, because you're starting at the bottom, physical, and then you're getting more up into the spiritual realm. So that's red, grounding energy. So if you're feeling a little bit ungrounded, if you're like waffling, if you're having trouble making decisions, put on some red and it'll really help ground you. And then if you find yourself wearing a lot of red, that's when you can ask yourself, where am I ungrounded? Like, what can I do to really ground myself? So that's red. The next is your sacral chakra, which is orange. So you'll see it's the color of the rainbow. So your sacral chakra is essentially like around all of your sexual organs. So it's like below your belly button. And this one is all about creativity. So it's because if you think about it, your sexual organs are about birthing life. So this is where you birth your ideas. So if you're in that state where you want to be creative or you're coming up with some new ideas, wear some orange, because it really will help support that. And then if you find yourself wearing orange, ask yourself if there's a way that you're maybe not expressing your creativity. So that's that one. And then we move up to yellow, which is your solar plexus. And this is right around your belly button. And this is really like, this is like your subconscious. This is what you truly believe and think about yourself. So statements like, I am worthy, I am beautiful, I am intelligent, I am prosperity, I am abundant. That's essentially your solar plexus. And if you think about everything that's been going on in the world the past few years, it's like that our solar plexus has just been bombarded. And that's when, if you find yourself comparing yourself to other people or judging yourself or thinking you're not good enough, that's your solar plexus. So yellow, yellow, yellow.
Yeah,
really,
which is a hard color. Remember, I took the test and I told you right away, I can't wear yellow.
yes. And this is what I said to you, where I feel that everyone can wear every color. It's just finding the shade of that color that works for you. And keep in mind too, this doesn't have to be a bright yellow shirt. It can be something that has a little bit of yellow in it. It can be yellow underwear. It can be a yellow crystal. You can even start eating yellow food, because that's also, you just want it on your body. Okay, so now I get to lean back so that the sun.
There you go. Now it's gone.
So that's yellow, or even like you can play with some gold, right? Some yellow gold.
Oh yeah, gold. Yeah.
You can get creative. Like you can get creative with that. But that's your solar plexus. So then we move up to your heart chakra. And I love this one because it's actually 2 colors are represented by your heart chakra, green and pink. It's so important that it has 2 colors. And so if you feel like, you're kind of saying mean things to yourself, or maybe you're not giving yourself self-care, self-love, pouring into yourself, throw on some green or pink. And then if you find that you are gravitating towards that color, then ask yourself, hey, where can I soften? Where can I show myself some more grace? Can I go take a bath? Can I go take a walk? What am I saying to myself? Like, are my words kind or are my words hurtful? And that's where you get to start to question.
Right.
Then we move into throat chakra, which is turquoise or light blue.
Okay.
So, and that's speaking your truth. So, are you allowing yourself to voice what you truly feel? Are you sharing your gifts in the world? Are you showing up? Are you putting yourself out there? So, if you feel like you aren't and you could use some support, throw on the blue. Or if you find yourself gravitating towards the blue, ask yourself, hey, where am I not speaking my truth?
Mm.
And then we go to third eye chakra, which is like a navy or an indigo, so a deeper blue.
Okay.
And this is all about trusting yourself,
Mm.
knowing and with full faith that you have all the answers within, and you don't need to look out for answers. You just need to look within and like get quiet with yourself. So if you have a big decision, if you feel like you've been asking for a lot of outside opinion and not really trusting yourself, throw on navy or indigo. And then if you find yourself naturally gravitating towards those colors, ask yourself, hey, where am I not trusting myself? And then the last one is your crown chakra, and that is purple. And this one is like your just divine connection to source, to universe. If you believe in God, it's just understanding like the oneness that we are all one, with ourselves, with one another, with source. We are all from the same magical stardust. And so it's a great, purple's a great color. Like, it goes along with meditation, just really trusting that divine guidance, that divine wisdom.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah.
That's so much. It's so good. All right, my phone is buzzing.
Yeah, so those are the colors. And like I said, I think everyone can wear every shade. Everyone can wear every color. It's just finding the shade that works for you.
Yeah. So this is so like to me, right? Because I did not expect that at all. And I just love that. But some may go, that seems like so much, because now do I need to like look at my list and, oh no, I'm putting on black. I'm wearing all black. What does that mean? You know, people are so easy to get into our heads. I even did guilty. I
Yeah.
thought about that this morning, like, oh, now I'm going to think about like, you know, it's always like what do you feel like putting on, right? And I was like, had kind of decided I was going to do the blue. And then I was like, nah. And I started like, should I go look at my list, what it actually means? So what can you say about to think about it, but don't get into your head? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's where the,
Aware, but don't get like, oh, don't overthink it.
well, yeah, that's where you get to practice detachment, right? So like awareness is a beautiful gift. I think more, my wish is that more of the world had a deeper awareness or this desire for awareness. Because I think once you start questioning and once you start, you know, diving deep into those things, I think that's when you really discover your true self and when you start to realize what truly makes you tick. So it gets to be lighter. Like this doesn't mean like, oh my gosh, I'm completely disconnected if I'm craving purple. It's no. It's just like, let it be fun and light. Like it gets to just be fun and light. Like, oh, I'm craving orange. Ooh, is there something creative that I want? What I wonder what it is. And it's like getting in that playful space of curiosity instead of making it right or wrong. It's just just be curious about it. Like nothing's right or wrong. Just be curious. Why am I craving green? I'm going to take a bubble bath tonight.
I like that because yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like have some curiosity behind it.
Yeah.
That whole playfulness, right? So how do you go about with your clients to find all this out? Because it's all in here. And here we think we're just like, oh, I'll just show you my closet and then you can tell me what I should not have and throw out. That's, you know, that's not work for me. And then how do I accessorize and belts and shoes? But that's not it.
I mean, that's one way to do it, right? That's
One
totally
way
one
to do it.
And I think like we've grown up watching like What Not to Wear and all these shows where that's essentially the premise. This is just another way to look at it and to go about it. And there's a process I always take my clients through first to ignite their authentic style before we even look at their closet. So it's all about me getting really curious with them and just asking them the right questions to pull out their authentic style, because everyone has an authentic style within them. It's just, it's gotten shoved down with what society tells us, like how we should be dressing, or just the notion that it's not really important. So they kind of stuff it down and they deprioritize their style, not really understanding the how important it really is, like the magnitude of how you show up. So I think it's just that people have just pushed it down. So it's really about me taking them through this beautiful process first to pull out all of that information. And it's
And
just something that I've like over the past 5 years, it's like a process that I've just continued to refine the more clients I work with, because then I just start to see what works. And it's also me connecting with, I'm extremely intuitive. So it's just me connecting with my intuition and allowing that to come forth when I'm with my clients as well.
yeah, I love that so much. I'm like, I want you to ask me all the questions. Like,
Yeah, let's do it.
I know, right? Oh, like, because I think we get so stuck in how it's supposed to look like, right? And I'm guilty of that too. That's why I was so surprisingly happy when I was like, oh, this is so different. So what if, well, let's just say somebody are like me and they're going, this is so different. I like this. This is resonating.
Yeah.
I will have Amanda's, contact information here so you can all contact her. And because this is, like I said, this is new to me too. And I was just super excited about it. It's just a different way of looking at it and the way you go about and the way you work with your clients. So when we're getting this, because it's all about reigniting our sparkle, right? But it starts within. So what have you found that when we are really getting comfortable and we can show off and we get confident, we learn more about how to dress ourselves for ourselves?
Yeah.
Because many dress for other people,
Exactly.
doing
Yep.
less or how they think it's supposed to look like. So how do we, so can you give a tip to like, just what's like and one thing we should do to look inward to kind of like try to get, I know you will do that with your clients, but how can we like start thinking about it and kind of like, because I always like prepare.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the first thing, and I know it's easier said than done, is to stop comparing yourself to other women and men. Because there's just so much comparison that happens. You see social media, life looks perfect, everyone's over filtered. Like you just,
Yes.
this game of comparison starts to make you feel like less than.
Yes.
So instead of focusing out on that, really start focusing in on what do you love about yourself? What are your gifts? Because I truly believe that what we focus on is what is created. I mean, life is a mirror for our thoughts. It's a mirror for how we show up. That's why I always say it's so important to put the intention in what you're wearing, because you're not showing up for anyone else, but you're showing up for yourself in the life that you're creating. So when you start dressing a certain way, when you start acting a certain way, when you start being a certain way, you actually then create the life that you want. It's not the opposite. It's like a lot of people say, oh, I'll dress the part when I get the job. No,
And
you have to act as if, and then you actually pull it in. That's where I think people get manifesting wrong and they get the like everything. It's like you gotta be in the energy of it first, and then you'll create it. So I think if you can stop comparing yourself to other people, and instead of, because then a lot of times we'll try to make those people wrong. Like we compare and then we're like, oh, well, she can only do that because, or yeah, but this isn't working in her life. It's like, stop pouring that negativity out. And instead, if you see yourself like comparing to someone else, admire that in them. Wow, that's really cool that she has built that amazing business, that she has this beautiful life. It's possible for me too. I send her so much love, because then you're shifting the energy that you're pouring out and you're like, this is totally possible for me too. And that's starting to raise your elevation. And then you start to believe in yourself and you start to love yourself. And as you start to let the limiting beliefs wear away, that's when you start to realize that it's safe to show up as yourself. And when you feel safe to show up as yourself, you feel safe to dress the way that you want to dress. You're not worried about what people will think when you walk into a room. You care about how you feel in the clothes.
right.
So that's kind of like step one. I know it's a process. It takes time, but that's kind of the overview of it.
Yeah, because it doesn't take overnight. Like you don't build confidence overnight. Like
No.
I mean, this is a whole process to get to know yourself, finding yourself, falling in love with yourself.
Yeah.
We said before, with quirks and everything. And then you get to radiate that. And then, so what have you found that when people have gone through that process and they're starting to play, like, what do you see? Because I have that when I work for Tony Robbins, and the first night I volunteer for him, they walk on fire.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I've done it 5 times now. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna walk on fire. People are like, what? And it's like, and then like, but what, why? I was like, it's overcoming that fear. And then, so I tell them when I see the people, the first day I'm out there high-fiving and woohoo. And they're like, kind of like, what time do we get to eat? Oh, all these things. And they're kind of like worried. The next day they walk in. I just walked on fire.
Yeah.
They're confident, just like, and they're standing up taller. And they're just like, I'm a firewalker. To see that is such a blessing.
Mhm.
So you get to see that with your work.
Yeah.
So how, like, do you have anyone, like you can say, like, even like no names,
Oh, of
like,
course.
so and so would this, but then this, you know,
Every
I love having stories like that because we can relate to it, right?
Yeah, every client. I mean, the cool thing is that everyone does leave feeling really confident in their style, and they've got, we've done a whole purge and a refresh, and I've shopped for them, and like, so all of that also happens.
Yes.
But it's the deeper stuff, right? Like, it's releasing the resistance that happens. And I've had so many clients who have been hesitant to work with me because they wanted to lose weight, release weight, but
Right.
they're like, maybe I should wait until I lose the weight. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
we start working together. Yeah,
When.
exactly. We start working together, and I promise you the weight is going to come off because you're going to start seeing yourself differently. And that's exactly what happens. They start seeing themselves differently. They start showing up feeling really good about themselves. And then the next thing I know, they've dropped like 5 sizes. It's a beautiful process that happens. Or I have clients where, at the end of working together, they're like, all right, I felt confident. I went on that interview and I got the job. Or they have a new relationship, or their business has doubled or tripled, or they're now working with like billionaires instead of millionaires because they just see themselves different. And at the end of the day, it's not about thinking that you're better than anyone else, or that it's really about realizing that we are all human beings. Like, we are all one. We all need to eat, we all need to go to the bathroom. And it's just when you can see yourself in that light of like, hey, I have something really valuable to offer as well, just like Beyonce does, right? When you can see yourself in that light, you just walk into a room different. And it's not about needing to impress or needing to be right or needing to be better than anyone. It's just coexisting and allowing people to be people. And instead of judging them or making them wrong, you're like, hey, this is me, this is how I show up. You can be you, and that's how you show up. And then it's when you drop all that like resistance and everything else, that you get to just start enjoying your life and showing up in joy. And it just starts to feel easier. And then the things that you've been wanting start coming to you. And that's the beauty of it. And I have some clients that, have worked with me now for 2 years. And I just look back at, in one client I'm thinking of specifically, she had no idea what her style was initially. And she didn't feel confident at all. And she and her husband were just crowned best dressed at this like Lamborghini event. So
Oh.
it's like, yeah, right. So it's like so cool to see that. And then meanwhile, her business is like, it's crazy, but it's just beautiful how it all comes together. That's why I say it's always deeper than the clothes, if you allow it to be.
Yes. And I like how you touch on the resistance, because we are all resistant to change, right? Because we fear change. And we're like, well, we don't know. And what if I'm not going to like who I am, or who I'm becoming, or what's going to show up?
Right.
People are very resistant. That's my experience. Like and then when they do change, then it's going to be like, well, what about the people next to me? Are they going to still love me?
Mm-hmm.
And all of that. So the resistance is huge to overcome that. But it all, again, it starts within, right? All right, what else? What else should I touch on here? I wish I could have people like ask me questions. Throw out questions for her. I love this so much. Like, so I decided this year, and I never done this. I was like, this is gonna be my color of red. The year of red. My color is red.
Your power
And-
color.
Yeah, and before it was like I get introduced to pink, and I was never a pink girl. But then somebody started giving me pink, and I was like, ooh, and I started actually to like feel more feminine. But I don't know if it had anything to, because I was like, was that because I was starting to wear pink? Because I was, and now my whole house has pink stuff everywhere. And it's like very girly. And then, and then this year I was like, I'm doing red. But it makes sense, like you said, it was like I was grounding myself.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And your colors change. Like, so I have this cool quiz that I know we're going to talk about in a little bit, but it's something where it tells you what your confidence color is. And it really has to do with your chakras and where you could use a little bit of support. And the thing is, when you take it, don't get tied to like, this is my confidence color. This is the only, because that can change every day. It could change from morning to night because your energy is always shifting and changing. So your colors are going to be changing too, right? So that happens to me too. For a while, I'll be craving pink, then I'll switch to green, then I'll switch to purple, then I'll switch. So yeah, again, you get to like, nothing is like set in stone, just like your style takes a little bit of time. Like I work with my clients from, usually 3 months is like the minimum, unless they want to do like a VIP day, but it takes about 3 months to start to get clear on your style. And then you continue to evolve after that. So that's the thing, is like, we're always evolving. Our style is always evolving with our life. That is, if you're on a path of growth, right? Your energy is always changing. So what you want to wear and what you want to put on is going to change too.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to know who you are within and what you truly want, so that you don't get stuck in, no, but I always wear these blouses, so I've got to keep wearing these blouses. One day you're like, I don't want to wear this freaking blouse. And okay, and purge it and let it go, because you're holding on to stagnant energy. Like I think a lot of people hold on to stuff thinking like, oh, but I've spent a lot of money, or that used to look good on me, or that still looks really good on me. I can't let that go. And the thing is if you're not letting it go, you're not allowing what's meant to come in to come in. So energy gets to move and flow. And it's just like your clothes. It's just like money, right? Money, you earn it, you spend it, you earn it, you spend it. Whereas if you hoard it, like, it's like, you're almost like stopping more from coming in. So it's just like the same with your clothes. You got to think about that. You have to be okay with purging and letting it go, and letting that go bless someone else, so that then what's meant to come in comes in. So like that whole purge process is really beautiful as well.
Yeah, I love that, because it feels so good when you clean out the closet. Like when I moved to this house in San Diego, my closet, I'm not kidding, it's this big in my bedroom. I'm like, okay. So it was, I have a little one in the office too, but it's not much. And it's like, so I was really like strict, right? So I keep doing it. And even like I had a party to go to, and I wasn't comfortable in anything. And then, and I ordered things and it just didn't work. And then I had this outfit I wanted, but I was like, I need this skirt. And I was asking my daughter, do you have a black skirt? I don't even have a pencil skirt, a black, just like a little one. Yeah. And then I realized I had one in my garage, in my Goodwill bag. So I have to pull it out, and it was too long. So I was like, oh, I need to sew it. And then my 22-year-old daughter, she's like, oh no, mom, you just do this. And I was like, oh, really? She just bunched it up here. And I was like, no, that's going to make me look, big here. And it didn't. Like, so just like, even finding things that you thought that like it was out, and I had to pull it out of the bag, but it was like, and it was so great, because now I'm like, I'm keeping it now. It's back in, even though I did purge it.
I know. How long has that stuff been sitting? How long has that Goodwill stuff been sitting?
The stuff, in my garage, probably a year.
Why?
Because I haven't gone to donate it. My whole, oh no. I think I know where this is going.
That's stagnant energy sitting there. You get to go purge that.
It's a garage.
It doesn't matter. It's still your space. And think of the people that are not benefiting from wearing it. So it's just sitting in bags. for a year, whereas you could be donating it and allowing other people to benefit from it. You get to move that out. There's something else in your life that, sorry, I'm like going into coaching mode here.
I know, I love this.
There's something else in your life that you're allowing to sit and fester. So think about that for a little bit. Because if you're doing it with your clothes, you're doing it with another area of your life too. So you get to think about that and think
That's
about
good.
your clothes are a direct reflection. So there's something else in your life where you're allowing it to sit and you're not fully letting it go, even though you've decided you want it to go. So just think about that. And then
I keep bringing it back in.
Exactly. So I highly suggest that you go and take your clothes to Goodwill this week.
I will. I have to Google whether it's a Goodwill in San Diego. Because you know what? Because I don't think I have, it could have been longer because I have been here for 3 years and I have cleaned out stuff and I'm just like putting it in because it's the garage. This is not just me. When she's talking to me, she's talking to everybody.
Exactly. No, this is what a lot of people do, or they put it in their car, or they never, you're not fully releasing.
I have 2 bags out there. I have a new and older. See, the truth is coming out.
Yeah, you're not fully releasing. And there's nothing, I'm not making you wrong. Like I'm not,
No.
like, I'm not making you wrong. I'm just saying it's just interesting when you, again, start to get curious about like, why am I not fully letting it go? Where else am I not fully letting things go? Where am I holding on to something out of fear? Like, oh, I might need that. I might need that. Versus just letting it go and trusting that if you need something, it'll come to you.
Right.
This is your homework. This is your.
I think it's the control.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just honest here because I'm very aware and I always look into it. I just never put that together. I'm so glad I mentioned that because I'm not the only one.
No, you're not. You're not. I used to do that too.
And we do it with other things too. Like I used to be a floral designer. I have tons of vases still in my garage, just in case one day I will need one for a dinner party. And I'm like, I can go buy a new one. Yep. Same thing. I'm holding on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's comfortable and it's that. This is good. I like this. There's a reason why you're here with me right now.
Yeah. Well, it's cool because this is what happens when I go through the purging process with my clients. Like they think, oh yeah, we're just going to purge the closet. But I'm like, it's like an inner soul purge too. So there's always, the deeper questioning that starts to happen. And then it's interesting when it comes to like shopping and adding stuff back in, there's a lot of worthiness that usually comes up. Like, oh, I don't deserve that. I don't need to buy that. That's too expensive. It's like all about your worthiness instead of, or if people are like, well, I only buy stuff that's on sale. I'm like, okay, well, that's interesting. That's interesting. That's something to look at. Why do you feel like you only deserve things that are on sale? So it's just, there's so much there. There's so much there. That's why it's deeper than the clothes. That's like it's truly transformational work. And I always say the style, the clothes are just my tool.
Yeah.
What it really is like life transformation with a sprinkle of spirituality mixed in. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a whole inner and outer. Oh, I love this. So I feel like throwing out a name here because always when I go visit her in Hawaii, I go through her closet and make her throw out stuff because she's always buying new stuff. So I'm making her always clean. And plus I usually get something out of it.
Yeah.
So I always do that.
And also it's interesting because you mentioned always buying stuff. So something else to just be aware of, right? Is if, and this is for anyone tuning in, if you find yourself just always buying a lot of new stuff, again, stop and pause, because a lot of times that can become a way to fill a void versus really being intentional. Like, do I really need that in my life? Or am I buying it to feel good, to get that rush? Because then that rush is going to go away and you're going to have to buy something else. And I used to be like that when I worked in corporate. I would go out and shop on the weekends because I was unhappy. And so I would fill the void, but then that would wear off Monday morning and then I would need to go shopping again. Right. So it's so much deeper.
It is, because now I don't like to go to malls. Speaking of shopping, I don't like malls because I think it's just mayhem, but I like the small little boutiques because I get to talk to the owners and get to know them and it's more quaint. So it's fulfilling shopping need and like that whole like community and reaching out and giving love and just getting to know people. So that's just a different way. I would talk about shopping here. This is so good. All right. So let's talk about your free gift. Since we started going there, let's go there. What it's all about.
Yeah. So it's the color confidence quiz. And I love that we started off this conversation talking about chakras and colors and energies. Because what this, and like, if you're tuning in and you're thinking like, well, I don't really know what color I gravitate towards, or I don't really know what chakra could use a little bit of help. We got you. That's what the quiz is for. So this super short quiz, it'll take like 2 minutes. It's essentially getting to the root of, which chakra needs love, needs support, and that becomes your confidence color. So you'll go through the quiz and then you'll get a color at the end to start wearing. You get a little mantra that you can start saying, you get a little deeper dive into that chakra, and then you get to start wearing that color. And that is going to help bring your confidence back, because it's going to help realign your energy and keep those chakras moving. And it's super fun.
It's fun. So which I mentioned, mine was yellow. And of course when we talked, I was like, no, I don't wear yellow. But then you kindly said, well, underwear, rocks, anything, gold. Yeah. Gold. So.
Well, did it resonate with you, the why? Like when you read about the solar plexus, did it resonate with you?
Remind me again.
It's your worthiness. It's like it's your core, it's your powerhouse. It's I am worthy, I'm abundant, I am prosperous.
Yeah, it's the worthy part. That actually, I just did another Tony Robbins seminar, and that worthy, and it was that worthiness that came out for me this time. And I was like, whoa, it was like, I'm not worthy. I'm like, why am I not worthy? Like, okay, let's shift this. Let's dig into that. And then that's it. So yes, correct.
And have you worn any yellow?
I have not since, but I wear gold. I'm wearing silver today, but I wear gold jewelry. I started wearing that maybe a year ago. So that's kind of one shade of yellow.
Step it up a little bit though. Step it up with like something that has like yellow in it too.
Okay.
If you still got
skirts, and because now it's the fall, right? So I'm going into the fall. Well, it's winter actually. But it's like it shifts my colors because I'm seasonal too. But well, in San Diego, LA, it's summer all the time, except for right now. So step it up with a yellow. So like
wear a little bit more yellow.
Yeah. I can look into that, like some little yellow underwear.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then just see how you feel. Just notice.
Yeah. I will. I'm an experiment.
Right. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. I know. Anything that we didn't touch on that you're like, what, I really like to, add this to this, or anything where like, because I know I had questions, I haven't even looked at them.
I think the like something that I'll end with also is like, as you go through this process of transformation and, changing up your style and really figuring out what that is and who you want to be, I also say give yourself grace and love yourself exactly as you are right now. So even if you feel like your style isn't necessarily where you want it to be, or there's something about yourself that you're like not loving on, the fastest way to transform that is to love exactly who you are and how you're showing up right now, and have so much gratitude for that as you go through the transformation. I think that's the fastest way to really get to the root and get to the heart of who you truly are, is to love everything about your life right now, love everything about you right now, and just pour so much gratitude on it as you evolve and as you transform. Because you can't, unless you love exactly who you are right now, you're not going to love who you are in the future either, because then you're putting so much pressure on that other state versus just really learning to love and embrace exactly who you are in the life that you have right now. That's what starts to bring everything else to you with so much ease, because it all just becomes like an extra sprinkle, like, oh my gosh, and that too, and that too. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And again, it starts to become a direct reflection of like the gratitude that you're pouring out. So.
Yeah, I think we don't give ourselves grace. Mm-hmm. That is, my experience is that's like when I talk about give yourself grace, like, just you did what you could at that moment.
Yeah.
And we're so hard on ourselves, right? And we're so good to put ourselves down. And this is what it's all about. This is I mean, this is now going to come out on Valentine's week, and I'm so excited because that's like the biggest gift we can give to ourselves, this whole program, and just doing this for ourselves. So I'm very grateful. I actually wear red every day when I do this. Thank you so much, Amanda.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
This was amazing. I learned so much. I mean, it's a lot, and this is why you need Amanda.
Yeah, this is why I guide you through the process. You don't
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. No, I love it. It makes sense, and I hope it opened up, new, just like possibilities for everyone. Because I honestly, I had never heard of this before. So I was like everybody else that's listening, right? They're going, what? I'm like, oh, this is really interesting. This is like, it makes sense. So
yeah.
Love this so much. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. And then thank you to the audience, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye. Mwah.